the series. So he's somebody that we have a good, chemistry with. He knows when to suggest things. He knows the right timing. He knows the right opening. And, we talk about a lot of things in between series to make sure that we're both on the same page, which most of the time we are.
Adam, a question about the practice music out there today. It's what New England plays, the first couple of songs, Crazy Train by Ozzy and the classical song. How does that help a team? Does that build, I guess, animosity in a good way, or does that just get you familiar with the surrounding? What does that do for a team?
I wasn't paying attention.
You don't ever notice
No,
that?
I don't do the music selection, so.
But you don't ever notice what's played or associated with an opponent?
It just so happens these first two songs are played before every Patriots game.
That's it.
You gotta pay attention.
I got other things going on. I'm not picking iPod songs.
Are you willing to go in with two tight ends if you have to, or do you need to have?
We'll see. Yeah, I mean, we got time to kind of, make the final decisions, and that's why we got our meeting today, and we'll kind of clean everything up and see where we're at.
You mentioned briefly, I think Monday, that O'Leary has just done a good job. You said something very brief about him. Can you elaborate about what you guys?
He's trying to learn. He's trying to learn things as fast as possible. He's got game experience, obviously. I mean, I remember him scoring a touchdown against us. I think that's the first thing that came to mind. I remember when he came out, I remember evaluating him and really liking him as a pass catcher. He's impressed me as a run blocker as well. So, it'll be, we'll figure out what we're going to do here. And, it's a large volume to learn really fast when you play that position. There's just a lot of moving parts. So we just got to assess where we're at.
Does he know it? I mean, in 2 weeks?
I think he has a pretty good grasp of it, but it's, there's always these little things that come up that can make you a little nervous.
Adam, injury report question for you. How much do you guys look at an opponent's injury report each week? And does Bill Belichick, he's known for listing everybody. Is that an extra hurdle, or is that any kind of added?
I don't really take much stock in it. I just get ready for the game, and if somebody's out, then they're out. We don't spend too much time, concerned with who's in, who's out. We know that, if their guys are healthy, they'll roll, and if they're not, then they'll make them inactive.
Does that affect strategy and game preparation as you game plan for us?
It can sometimes. It could. There's certain teams where guys are out where you either are trying to avoid them, or you're assuming somebody's going to be playing a certain position, then they're playing a different position. That can change some things.
Do you ever, I guess for lack of a better term, play games with the injury report? Rashad Jones, for instance, out there one day last week, he's catching passes while we're out there while he's warming up. Do you ever use us to send a message to an opponent?
I don't think so, but maybe Matt does. I don't know. Not that I know of.
So you don't take it that seriously, then? I mean,
unless somebody says they're out early in the week, then you can make adjustments. But you just never know.
Tell us all the other ways you lied to us.
What?
Tell us all the other ways you lied to us.
I'm not. I just don't.
Blame it on Brett or Sydney, whoever.
You call it gamesmanship.
Any other non-injury questions?
Adam, how much of a challenge when you have natural attrition with injuries is it going to be to maintain the four quarterbacks? Obviously, a lot will depend on injuries going forward. But was that a discussion that you guys even had among you, Mike and Chris, this week?
No. It's just it is what it is. I know nobody likes it, but I do. So.
I have no problems with it.
Yeah, I'm different.
Glad Barry doesn't. Barry's approval, I'm good.
You've mentioned before how Andre Branch is kind of a guy that gets everybody going in that unit, and now he's not going to be part of things for a little bit. So, who takes on that role?
I think the good thing is we do have multiple guys. 2 years ago, he was big time as far as our emotional leader type guy, where he was really, kind of setting things ablaze, where guys really fed off of that. And I think we have more guys like that because we have so many young guys now where they still almost have that college kind of feel to them, where they get really amped up for the game and excited, and it's not just another game for them, when every week, because they're excited playing an NFL football game. And I think the longer you go in your career, some guys, it turns into almost business, to where it's, this is what I do for a living, and it's not as emotional for them. The intensity is there, but it's just not high emotionally. So I think a lot of our young guys that we've brought on board, they kind of help fuel that fire, and other guys feed off of it.
And when you talk about getting to quarterbacks and moving them off their spot, we know Brady gets rid of the ball pretty quickly. Is it more of a coverage game against him? Not to say you don't want to get to him, but do you have to kind of approach it like that?
I think it's just really the front and coverage being tied together. Whether you're pressuring, you're covering, however it is, everybody's just got to be on the same page. That's when you have that gives you your best chance. Even when those are tied together, sometimes when you're playing an elite quarterback, sometimes it doesn't matter. And, you just have to do a good job and just keep coming and staying tight in coverage and try to make things hard for them.
Adam, what would a win mean for you guys?
Man, it's the fourth game of the year. I know everybody wants to make it bigger than that, but, that's what it is. It's the first quarter of the season. There's a long ways to go. Every game is important, and because that's the one you're focused on right now. Anytime you can get a win and you keep stacking them on top of each other, that's a positive.
All right, thanks, guys.